Good evening, everyone. Another day, another game for the World Cup. Again, the stompage of Germany over Bulgaria. But hey, we get what we get. Today we have Bulgaria Lannister player versus the Germany Martel Alliance player. The surprise here, it's not piloted by Janis. Also, a small difference compared to last year, it is banner stack banner wolf instead of banner stack banner kraken. Basically, the deck does the same thing, and let's see how it will go. Wani Valerian Steel for the Bulgarian player. We ended up with that up because that was the last faction we decided. We haven't still used Valerian Steel. Crossing was taken. No time to experiment with all the shadow shenanigans. Although looks like there is a little bit of merit there. And we ended up in a pretty consistent thing where this fills in a one of the many Wani problems, which is draw. So this helps. That's how we entered here. Also, there is quite a number of very good and interesting attachments in the Wani profile that people are not surprised. But my favorite is the best knight in the game, Sir Pounce. From the attachment, which makes everyone not kneeling. I mean, every low-cost character not kneeling. But yeah, so for the plot deck for the Bulgaria Wani player, we have at the gates exchange of information, exposed duplicity, phone from favor, late summer feast, one from the Iron Bank, and wildfire assault. We went with a lot of economy just because we weren't. Some of the characters are pretty expensive. I mean, we have Cersei, Gregor, Tywin, and the deck is not that setup friendly considering all the attachments. Yep, and on the other hand, we have the Wani MP, the Martel NP deck, the worst of them all, that is running at Prince Doran behest, double 2 copies of building orders, close call, exchange of information, the Lost Message, and the Armor Gurus. Lost Message, one of the pods we rarely see. I believe this is the only team that's running it. And we have an action. Each player shuffles his or her hand into his or her deck. Then each player adds the top X cards of his or her deck to his or her hand. X is the number of cards he or she shuffled this way. Limit once per round. And it is a scheme, I believe. Yeah, it is a scheme. So it's a draw scheme, a very interesting choice there. My phone just went crazy for some reason. Okay. And that's pretty much it. The deck is centered around Iron Bank, Chamber. It has Chamber, Carhold, the Iron Bank, the Corset Iron Throne, Water Gardens, all the nasty stuff. We have 3 times Frozen Solid, Milk, 1 copy of Motley, 1 copy of Secret Pact. Interesting, no Venomous Blades here, but the Attrition package. Actually, from the start, we have the Shadow Control package where we have Washard Scouts, Corset Bran, area from the Fate Militant, so it's the not safe area, and then 2 copies of Bottom Flare aside from Carhold. Carhold is currently probably one of the favorite cards of Martel just because Desert Traders are off the list. And it's 1, of course they win the initiative. Yeah, Carhold is a great fan of Desert Raiders, unless they run into a winter deck, but those and we're waiting until the pleasantries go off. We see Carhold already on setup, so a lot of unnasty things will go away. On the event package for the Martel, we have on the Misty Norm, which is something pretty standard. We saw you last year. In the deck, Last of the Giants for Varys, Lisa Arin, which is a problem solver. Layway, Secret Schemes 3 times, and 2 copies of Hand Judgment. And now, quick look after we commented on all the pots. There is no Murgulis. There is Murgulis. Okay. Thought there is no Murgulis, but there is Murgulis in the Martel list. Then for the 1E, here the interesting part is the attachments. It's on the WoW end for a deck like Valerian Steel. There are only 16, just because there are not that many good attachments like there, for example, in Bulgaria. So here the key attachments are definitely Pinch of Powder. Pyromancer's Cache can solve a little bit of problems like freezing Carhold, and then you get all the power from the Desert Traders. Then we have Serpents, as we mentioned, Boy King, Valerian Steel Daggers, Widow's Welfare, those are that the and also Wine Stud. Those are the attachments that run with the 1E house. Everything else is non-Voyan. We have Pinch, Bodyguard, Green Dreams, Milk, Noble Lineage, Reckless, Seal of the Hand is by the card, Strangler, Water Dancer Sword, which actually makes the agenda pretty consistent regardless of the faction. And just because it is a weapon, else it's a dead card in the Nightwatch matchup mostly. And on the event package we have 3 times Hand Judgment, 3 times Treachery. So the deck doesn't like people do stuff. And that's what happens. So how this end up in the discard pile? Looks like. Okay, so we see a gold mine trigger. And now time to look at what the people set up. For the one setup was King Tommen, one sport merchant with noble lineage, gold mine and a gold road. We see Cersei joining the fray early with a dupe. And then for the Martel side, we see Carhold, which directly stops Cersei. So Carhold, Begging Bro, Queensman, and a Rose Road. And the building, what did the building orders found, by the way? Was it Iron Bank? Oh, found Hollow Hill, so looks like he drew into the Iron Bank. The deck, last week we showcased a deck where it won in challenges phase with Sparrow. This is not that kind of a deck, it's just a good old attrition. Vanguard, Lancer, Queensman, Helena Foreign, Bastard Daughters deck. And we see Hollow Hill to find. Interestingly enough, Ramsey and Ward didn't find the cut into this list. The list is not running any restricted card. That's another the Martel list I'm referring to. So because the one is for the one side we already see their restricted card. They're in the face of a Great Hall. Gold roll gaining gold. I think the card hold has to be frozen immediately, or at least as soon as possible, to get at least any leverage on the board. The shadow cards for the one side, quickly skimming through the deck. I should know it by hand, but we have Old Billbone, the Regent Guards, Pinch of Powder, and stuff like that. But this could definitely be a pinch, but yep, at least Cersei will do all her challenges. Probably one way or another, for it to just do this. It needs an answer, else although none of these cards you would like to jump or do anything with them, so yeah. You see Hand's Judgment discarded at random. Unfortunately, because of card hold, no power for Cersei. And I expect a power challenge with Tommen. Since he blocked with the... I would have probably considered not blocking with the Queensman, just to have the military challenge, but then you're giving the noble lineage and that could generate cards and gold. There is no... was there March in the Martel list? No, there is no March in both lists. But we live in those days where March people don't like to run March, so yep. You see a opposition. The one deck on location side and the nasty location side farm Alchemist Guild Code and 3 times. Sorry, Red Keep. There is a single copy of Castle Rock just for the added benefit of Cersei. We see Gold Cox ambush, so they will go do a military as well. Just to remove one of those unfriendly characters. There is no his Viper's Eyes, so that's a good thing. Welcome everyone that joined us to watch the game live on the stream and not in the actual game. That helps a lot. Also, maybe a discussion could be started. We see whole Q trigger. And we have Vanguard Lancer. No surprise there. I'm not sure about the Iron Bank in the deck. It's one of those weird cards that we see. And I'm not sure if it brings that much benefit to the deck. But hey, the player decided that it's worth it, so maybe. There is not a lot of economy sinks in the Martel list. Everything is cheap. We see a pot selection, immediate snap pick for the I would expect to see exchange here. So I would expect exchange here from the one side, unless there is a pretty hefty hand and definitely fall in favor. And then for the Martel, probably another building or Prince Doran Behest. Trying to hit. So looks like there is another big gun in the hand. So we'll see the One Sport Merchant go away. Martel player was chosen to be first. You see building orders for Dorm. Not what you like to see, but hey. Although that will spend all the gold of the turn, so yeah. Definitely a card that we wouldn't like to see is, for example, Secret Pack that stops entirely Cersei in her tracks. I do hope we see Gregor or Permaster's Cash. Permaster's Cash would be really sweet here. There is no attachment control in the Martel list. I think. Nope. There is no Crescent. Iron Bank Trigger or Gardens for 2. So we did see Prince Doran's Behest. Dorn. Gray, there is no restricted card in the Martel list. You are not missing anything. We see, and we see the annoying part of the package starting to run wild. As I said at the beginning, I would have probably considered Ramsey and Worf in this list, but looks like the German team decided to run without them. And oof, George boy, George boy, noble lineage for a card, I assume. Yep. And red keep. So this will probably stop the gain from Iron Bank or Ho Hugh. I'm not sure how we will see the one player play this. But at least both Red Keep and Dorns ended up on the same turn. You see military challenge. I assume Gregor will defend it. Kill it something, kill something. Everything is very cheap in the deck. So there is a high chance of hitting the Begging Brother. There is no worth losing a character or okay. I didn't expect this, so are we gonna see a bodyguard ambushed? Oh man. Huh, interesting. Okay. So Torment by the Dust, he is a king. But... And then we have an intrigue challenge, definitely unopposed. As I said, no March. Yep, trade no March. People should learn and play March. Definitely in an attrition style deck, March is a good thing. You see our Phelan discarded at random. That is not a terrible hit, but it's not a pleasant hit, definitely. And looks like this is the end of the challenges phase. Again, we're gonna see all the challenges from the one side. Carpo's gonna get permans of sketch at some point. So that's what we're looking for here, waiting. It's time for us to get a little bit lucky in these matchups, but we'll see. But yeah, Carhold made the Martel banner thingy very strong. When it's Banner Wolf or Alliance with Banner Wolf, Carhold is the sole reason to run that banner for the Martel matchup. In Night's Watch I would run it for Ward of course and Ramsey, but Carhold is not something that piques my interest in that regard, in those regards. Unfortunately, nothing to pinch here of any relevance. Just because we don't want any of these characters to return in one way or another. Let's see what of the giants discarded. That is already discarded. There is only one more in the deck, but considering Dorn is on the board, I still think that if the attachment is found, it should be Carhold and not Dorn, just because you just outrace the Dorn. Military for 10. Unfold. I think here's the begging wrong probably can go. Yep. Oof, that was a very good discard pillage. Although the Marteo is running 2 copies of the scheming, the Maester that returns the discard file. I'm blanking on the name currently. Quickly find it. Oops, wrong deck. It's the Archivist. This should be better. Dominant goes to Wani. Now the question is, do we expect a Murgulis, although that doesn't help. Let's keep cancelling Hollow Kill. Makes sense this turn. And then you either stop the... I'm not sure how merit is to stopping the Iron Bank, but there is definitely merit to stopping Water Gardens now, or Hollow Kill triggers constantly. As said previously, Red Keep is amazing, but when we see a shuffle of the discard piles, probably, I wonder if this is going to be stopped. As the previous time we streamed our Wani player, he's very methodical. He joined us exclusively for the tournament. He's playing with us like once a month. And so he's reading every card twice before knowing how to react to it. Like, I need more time is his favorite button in the... So something... so looks like he decided to keep the keep for the next phase, but I would have strongly considered not returning that secret pact into the deck. Although it gives renown, but in this matchup with card hold on setup, we see exchange into exchange. And the one will be first, so I expect to see the Marteo exchange first then. So let's see, we have Citadel Archivist, Varist, Washard Scout, Queensman, Washard Scouts, Arin, the Iron Throne, Queensman, and Arya Stark. So we have Citadel Archivist and Iron Throne. And for the Wani we have Treachery, Reckless, Western Fiefdom, Grim Dream. So looks like all 4 cards. That's a little bit better than the other one. Unfortunately, the Iron Throne is a card that we don't wanna opponent have, but so let's see what I mean. Jamie is scary, one merchant, probably merchant. Definitely a treachery. So one merchant, Western Fiefdom, one astute, and treachery. Treachery is very good. So let's see card draw. I'll go. Yep, it is a very strong deck tray. Annoying. This is the. I mean, this is basically a Yanis deck from last year. That's what we call Yanis deck. He showcased something similar to what we see here on the first Talek event, where he went to the finals with double Wildfire, for example, and all the attachments removal, and he finished second there, so interesting discard. Not something I would have considered probably. Although count is more than one copy in the deck. Count. Yep. Merchant. We patiently wait. Merchant. Looks like there was another copy of the counting. Why unstood for one, drawing a card. So he's definitely digging for the Pyromancer's Cache. This is the only location control in the deck. Although giving card to the opponent is not the best possible outcome, but hey. And it looks like he decided to keep the Iron Bank figure down. You see Branstark. I would probably fire off the Treachery here, just to get rid of Bran. The Starfall. So definitely this will remove the Intrigue icon. It will also remove Bran from the board. So. Or maybe we're gonna see a Wyanstoot shenanigans. Although that is currently drawing cards. For Bran to return to hand. And what I was referring to. But Starfall will definitely hit Cersei. The Secret Scheme draw. Fortunately no hand judgment. Gold road for AGoT. Removing probably the Intrigue icon from Cersei. Or the military from Gregor. Both are legit choices. And then we're definitely going to see a military with Gregor then. Most of the cases. Unfortunately, there is 2 gold. The one player should definitely try to get rid of Brand this phase one way or another. So I feel like a military challenge and then power challenge to jump him to hand, because the 2 gold saved is a concern. We know there is treachery in the hand, so that's something that we like to see. There are ways to play around this. And I assume that pinch is in shadows. We haven't seen the card come out of shadow, and there are, again, there is no point in using the, if it is the one is for guards. NPC military challenge. Yep, count is reasonable in the Valerian Steel matchup. Just because of the reuse of the attachment, also all the additional draw that they provide. But then again, very few factions can cope with the Dorm, and we see that Dorm being on the board for quite some time. I won't be surprised to see now a power challenge with the Count, with Gregory there, Le Montagne 10, Le Montagne. And hitting the Bran with you see Valerian Steel ambush for 1 on Gregor, so he's aiming for a unopposed challenge, probably. Because if Bran goes into the challenge, he'll get hit by the Lions Tooth. If he has a combo in hand like a Varys, that Bran shouldn't go into the challenge. Definitely shouldn't go into the challenge. Although now he's losing an attachment, but Bran definitely shouldn't go into the challenge here. I'm gonna kill both of them. Okay. That's a reasonable outcome. With the amount of, unfortunately now we have these assholes in the discard, but hey. And let's see if there are gonna be challenges for the Martel side. He is 5 cards ahead, so I assume there is a combo in hand, although now the treachery stops it, I don't expect to see it. We see Hollow Hill, and also there is Hollow Hill that can find the missing combo piece, being either Lisa or Varys. Oh, but with the information that there is treachery, probably nothing will happen there. Or he may have just forgotten there is treachery. Oh, I do not agree with this treachery. I definitely do not agree with the treachery. Just because the possibility of Varys coming down and ruining your day, that treachery feels very... You see lay waste on the red keep and judgment. That's the one copy of lay waste in the deck, by the way. So I do hope there is a change judgment. Now probably we're gonna see that actually that's a terrible play because now we can find Parameter Sketch and put it on Carhold. Isn't this like a bad play? Because it's an attachment based deck, you can search location or attachment. Yep. So if he wanted to remove something, I know Red Keep is a big scary thing, but currently what keeps him in the game was Carhold. And now with that, not a great outcome if you ask me. So next spot we have actually a lot of not that many options. You have to discard a few cards ready for the Martel time. And let's look into pots. Lost Message is an interesting option. Then we have Close Call, definitely for Bran. And Cersei gains a power. So I don't expect Murgulis, although the Martel, the one side cannot counter it in any shape or form. Wasn't this fixed? I have to test it to see if it was fixed. It is in taxation where there was no gold, but still a fair remark. Now, as mentioned, it could be either Close Call or Murgulis now. I don't think we're gonna see Lost Message. Both hands are pretty healthy. And for the one side, one was played, so probably late summer feast. Receive a war into, yep. I mean, it was expected now that the Cersei, the Carhold is pretty much shut down. Makes sense. Luckily enough, there is quite a lot of draw given this way with both attachments. You see draw 2. Iron Bank trigger. Duke for Dorm. No need in the matchup. So that's better to save for a reserve. Or for the intrigue claim thingy. So looks like the card in shadow is definitely the pinch. We see Water Gardens. Iron Throne. Okay. And probably Chamber now will come down. It won't make any much I mean, it makes a lot of difference, but I do expect to see the Chamber coming down. Varys or Lisa. This could help a little bit, but still needs the Chamber. Also, the one player needs a treachery definitely, or to just draw into the red keep again. Mm, or guild hall. Why guild hall? How does the guild hall help? Above lineage, draw a card. Yes, and we are back in the game. Unfortunately, the said lay waste is still in the discard pile. It's back in the deck, so probably Don will going to find it, but still this limits the clock. We see Birdman discarded for the gold mine. Time for Castle Rock now. For Alchemist Guild Hall. I mean, red keep here at Nasco. Yep. Red keep helps with the Starfall situation, and then Alchemist Guild Hall helps with the Varys situation. Varys Lisa situation, to be exact. There is quite a lot of resources at the Martel player side, so ooh, seized by the guard with just one gold. See another card draw. This is the second trigger. I feel like he needs one more character at least. Unfortunately, there is no. So we're gonna see intrigue hit here for Cersei. Then we're gonna see a military. I don't think it's a slow play. Like there, 10 cards. We see pinch. Yep, look, so it was pinch. No surprise there. Jump the bastard to hand. We see desert trader. Removing the power icon. This is gonna gain a power. Darkfall gonna be cancelled. Yep. No, he took his time in the marshalling phase definitely, so yep. So it was a legit comment. I may have dropped also frames. Let me just quickly check. I don't have my. I'm dropped a bit, but not that many. So military with Gunter will be one more power. I think that's GG. Is this one stood? Yep, so return it to hand. Don't give it claim. 13. Now 14 to just win dominance, and then the discard is gonna seal the game. Win dominance for 14, just because you cannot face the Iron Throne. And the discard for reserve will be the third power on Cersei. Yeah, fair enough. But now we cannot win unless there is seal in the hand. Seal of the hand for the dominance play. Is there seal for the dominance? It's 11. Oh. So we do, there is a Varys. Last of the Giants. I mean, he has to try here, but treachery, change judgment, and there should be change judgment in the hand. Hey! Wait, Nasco, we actually got on the board. So at least it's not with a complete sweep. So in about half an hour, we have one more game that I would like to cover today. It's our Stark versus. Give me a second, I forgot. We have Stark versus Mystery Knight, which is Assault from the Shadows. So that's going to be a struggle, if I'm not mistaken. That should be the game that. Oh, let me just double check. Who is in? Yeah, so it's our Stark player versus Assault from the Shadows. So that will be in half an hour. Thank you for joining. See you all in a half an hour.